Have you ever felt like you're just broken? Like you're walking around with a label on your back that says not good enough or too much? That was Emma's entire world. At 19, the weight of her own self-doubt was crushing. Normal felt like a destination she could never reach. The voices in her head, and sometimes even the voices in the school hallway, all said the same thing. You're different, weird, broken. She'd pull her backpack tighter, trying to shrink, to disappear. The words clung to her. Rejected, failure, forgotten. They felt like the truest things about her. But what if the labels we wear, the ones we accept, and even the ones we give ourselves, aren't the final word? What if they're not from the one who matters most? This is a story about what happens when you start to question those labels. It's a story about a soul's glow-up. One night, scrolling through her phone, tired of the same old cycle of self-criticism, Emma stumbled upon something different. A Bible app. She almost swiped past, but something made her stop. A verse appeared on the screen. You were taught to put off your old self. A tiny thought sparked in her mind. A thought so new it felt almost dangerous. Maybe these labels aren't from God. It was a revolutionary idea. What if the identity she'd been living under was a lie? That night, as the first hints of dawn touched her window, she knelt by her bed and whispered a prayer, a raw, honest plea. God, show me what I've believed that you never said. Show me what's true. This was the turning point. This was where the real transformation began. She took out a notebook and on one side of the page, she wrote down all the ugly words that had defined her for so long. Rejected, broken, forgotten. It was painful to see them all laid out like that, a list of accusations. But then, she started a new column. Searching through the Bible app, she began to write down what God said. Next to rejected, she wrote, chosen. Next to broken, she wrote, restored. And next to forgotten, she wrote, seen by God. A verse seemed to pulse with life on her screen. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. And for the first time in a long time, a tear traced a path down her cheek. But this one wasn't from sadness. It was a tear of release, of cleansing. A slow, genuine smile spread across her face as the truth began to sink in. I'm seen. I'm loved. I'm not who they said I am. I'm his. This is the core of what we're talking about today. It's not about just slapping on positive affirmations. It's about replacing lies with truth. It's about an identity exchange, trading the labels of the world for the name God gives you. But what does that look like in real life? A spiritual glow-up isn't a magic trick. It doesn't happen overnight. For Emma, it started small. Months later, she found herself volunteering at a local youth center. The air smelled like crayons and glue, and her laughter mixed with the happy chaos of kids making art. Her heart, which used to feel so heavy, now felt light. A little boy with a gap-toothed grin ran up to her, holding a wobbly paper airplane. "Miss Emma, look!" he shouted. "Wow," she said, her eyes crinkling with a real smile. "That's going to fly all the way to the moon." She realized her journey hadn't started with some grand heroic act. It started with helping a friend with their homework. It started with offering a quiet word of encouragement to someone who looked down. It started with choosing to smile, even when that old, familiar fear tried to whisper its lies. Each small act of obedience became a powerful act of faith. There's a verse that says, "Whoever is faithful with little will be faithful with much." Emma stopped measuring herself against other people. She was on her own path, and she began to trust that God would equip her for every single step, even when she felt totally unready. The verse, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," wasn't just a nice quote anymore. It was her reality. It was the fuel that kept her going. Have you ever felt unready? Unqualified? That's the moment your faith is designed to kick in. That's the moment you stop relying on your own strength and start drawing on His. Every time you choose to serve, to love, to be kind when it's easier to be cynical, you are rewriting your own story. You are stepping into your new creation identity. Now, when Emma walks into the sunrise, her steps are confident. Her face is turned toward the light. Her soul's glow-up wasn't an instant flash of lightning. It was the daily, steady choice to turn toward the sun. It was choosing truth over lies, courage over fear, and Christ over the chorus of voices that had tried to define her. Her past isn't a prison anymore. Her scars have become her testimony. They're a reminder of where she came from, but they no longer dictate where she's going. The old labels? They're gone. Peeled off and replaced by a radiant, unshakable certainty found in another beautiful verse. You are God's masterpiece. She's not living for the approval of others anymore. She's not living for her past or trying to make up for her failures. She's living from her new identity in Jesus. She found her true self by losing the one she thought she had to be. If Emma's story resonates with you, if you're tired of the labels and the lies, I want you to know this isn't just a nice story. This can be your reality. It starts with that same simple prayer, God, show me what's true. It continues with the small, daily choices to believe His truth over everything else. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are a masterpiece in the making. Thank you so much for watching. If this video encouraged you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories of transformation and truth. We'll see you in the next one.